Welcome everybody. It's Zetniix here, and this is Into the Breach, the greatest game for me, because I started speedrunning with this game. This is my this is my second ever attempt of the all squads percent, which means doing all possible squads in a row. It's gonna be a bit long, for sure. My PB is now 2:48:17, but I'm gonna change it. I'm gonna lower it very low, and I have my friend with me here, R30.
Hey everybody, I'll be helping out with commentary for this.
Yeah, because I'm not confident enough to commentate on myself, and I need to focus, because you need to focus. I'm gonna mess up a lot. This is inevitable. So I'm starting with random squad, because I can choose whatever I want in whatever I want. Yeah. So this is gonna be from the game. I just started speedrunning. I just know everyone because I started playing this game and speedrunning. This is great game. I love it. This is roguelike, turn-based game. Like it's like a chess-based. Like you have vex, you have your mechs that are right here, and I'm gonna just start this. I'm getting nervous. That's scary. Okay.
You got this.
Okay, I'll start my countdown. I'm gonna press start at 0. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, and we start the game.
Fantastic. So, as Zetniix was mentioning a little bit earlier, part of the reason that he's starting with Random Squad is because you have to start, well, one, you have to start somewhere, but also because Random Squad lets you can re-roll a couple times before the run actually starts. Now, we are doing effectively 11 any percent categories strung together in a row. So, the goal here, do 2 islands, and then head straight to the final island. Rinse, lather, repeat. We're already starting off here on Archive with the Defend the Train mission, which is one of the shorter missions that we'll start off with. Each island will have different missions that are randomly generated over the course of the run. And the Defend the Train mission is one of the shortest, with only 4 turns, whereas this one, it's 5 turns.
I just did my the first skip that I will use a lot in this run. This is the quitting to main menu skip, which saves up like 5 or 6 seconds or 4 in each instance of finishing a mission. So it's gonna help a lot.
I mean, if you think about it, with saving 5 seconds each time at the end of every single mission, that's going to add up over the course of, let's see, 10 missions per run, 11 runs. It adds up quick.
I'm not scared of losing grid. This is speedrunning. This is a speedrun. So.
Indeed. Occasionally, the overall goal with Into the Breach is you want to make sure that your power grid doesn't drop to 0. The power grid will only drop if a building is damaged and you lose civilians.
Yup.
Mech health doesn't matter. Pilot health doesn't matter. Objectives doesn't matter. We want to go fast. We just want to make sure that the grid doesn't drop
to 0, and it just. It's just all this. And on the first island, on the Archive, you have only 2 fast missions, which is which is tidal waves, and tidal waves and the train mission. This is a tidal waves mission.
So that there was one thing that was nice, which was a resist. You'll note next to the grid defense a 15%. That means that with every shot every time that a building takes damage, it has a 15% chance of not taking damage. Sort of a last chance mechanic in a sense, though it can proc at any moment.
Now we are going to the leader mission. Oh no, spider. Oh, why you? I hate
Oh,
you.
spiders.
I mean, I like spiders in general, but this kind of spider is the worst.
So at the end of each mission, or at the end of each island, there's going to be a hive leader mission, where the goal is to protect, not only destroy the leader, but also protect the corporate tower. Normally, we only really worry about the corporate tower, since that's grid power, and we want to not lose that. But we don't have to kill the leader if we don't need to.
Yeah, but some of the leaders are very slow. So
This is also true.
So killing them is unnecessary for me. Okay, I'll just do this. And get some movement. And we're gonna go to the second island, which is RST. And we have a train mission. RST has 3 fast missions, which is train mission, a cataclysm mission, and a hornet spawn mission, which I like to call it like that.
Indeed. Now, we did put a laser straight through the train. That's normal.
Yeah, that's normal. It means that the train won't move and lose like a second each turn. Oh, okay, terraformer mission. It's bad to go for the terraformer mission in VR runs because terraformer mission has another spawn, an additional spawn, which can be not useful.
The nice thing, though, is that because the terraformer is a unit and can basically kill anything within a 2x3 section immediately next to it,
Yep.
it can be manageable. It's just slightly slower.
Mm, 100%ing the game is fun. I 100%ed it in like 30-ish hours. I don't know. It's something like that. So I'm too slow. Oh, volatile back mission isn't nice too, because you have to protect this yellow vec from dying, but I like to kill him.
That's one of the nice things about speedrunning this game, is that it's kind of cathartic to just completely disregard all of the objectives.
Ouch, that was painful. And I can't now I can't block with the Kazakh because he can't heal.
Indeed. One of the things is that at the start of each timeline, you have a pilot that kind of tags along for the ride for the next run. The two fastest pilots tend to be Kazakh and Mafan, both of which are sort of brought in from FTL, both representing the Mantis and the Zoltan races from the FTL game, FTL Faster Light, which was Subset's previous title. Kazakh has a nice melee attack in place of the repair, but he can't repair, which makes it hard for him to be able to be. You have to protect him so that he doesn't take damage as much.
I just noticed one thing. I forgot to start my timer.
No worries. We've got the timer on stream, so
I will not see my splits on my
That's
my
fine.
side. This is a very slow island too. Like I had only train mission, and that's all, which is kinda bad.
and that's one of the nice things that's
Okay, I'm gonna lose
really.
a pilot. I don't care.
Yeah, that's the other big thing, is that we really don't care about. Well, if a pilot dies, a pilot dies. It's better, you know. It's
It's the circle of
Spock
life.
it's as Spock once said: the needs of the many outweigh the few.
The only pilot I care about is Kazakh now. So I'm gonna give this, and we're gonna start our first final mission. And could you introduce others to lemon skips?
Indeed. So, one of the members of the modding community for Into the Breach, who has also helped out a lot with the speedrunning community, finding neat tricks and tips for us. Lemon Anonymous ended up finding a way to skip some of the hazards that you'll find in this mission, the final mission here. You'll see on the upper tile there a sort of a cracked yellow tile. That's an environmental hazard that's unique to the final mission. You'll notice that it's just become lava. What's really neat is that if you escape to the main menu, right as some of those tiles appear, you'll cut down the number of tiles that appear from 4 down to 1 or 2, meaning that you don't have to sit through the animation time. It's a huge time save for this last mission. And hence why we call it Lemon Skip, because Lemon Anonymous was the modder that found it.
I had a pretty good phase 1.
Yeah, being able to hit both, most of the Lemon Skips there already with, that's a huge time save already.
Yeah.
Because instead of having 8 lava tiles and 6 tiles that are on fire now, it's only 5. It's much, much less.
Oh, now we're gonna see a pretty silly thing with the bomb, which is the key thing in the second phase of the last mission. Yeah, Lemonimus isn't a speedrunner, he's a modder.
And a wizard. Some of the things he's been able to make
Oh
this
my
game
gosh,
do.
this is great. I just... the leader just wanted to die, basically.
That's the other big thing, is that you'll also be able to do some lemon skips in this area as well. But occasionally you want some of the environmental hazards to happen anyways, because, well, if the boss lands on that tile, the boss is dead. I mean, so is your mechs if you stay on that tile, but
Okay, I'm gonna do this and heal. And now I just need to kill this Vec. And this is our first squad done.
just like that. Like, this run with any percent, it can go really quick. You can imagine doing 11 of these in a row. It goes quick. It's surprising how rapid these can go.
Yeah, the VRs are getting pretty ridiculous just to get them. Like, I am fighting with Amaranth to have my VRs, This is my nemesis. And so I need to get my VRs back for most of the squads. It's just getting tedious. Like, it's only matter of seconds. Okay, we're gonna change now to the steel judoka.
So in the game, there are 8 base squads alongside the random and custom squad. This is one of the tougher squads, Steel Judoka.
This squad is very, very slow.
Steel Judoka as a squad is built around blocking enemy shots and having the Vec kind of fight amongst themselves. They're able to do extra damage. One of the passives that's found on the Science class mech, the mech that Kazaka's in, is the ability to have Vec, if they're attacking other Vec, deal an extra bit of damage. In practice, it doesn't get used as frequently as other...
In casual runs, I probably used it a bit, like with the leaders, and that's all.
Yeah. And a lot of the weapons on the mechs are slightly weaker than some of the comparative weapons that you'll find on other squads. In fact, Zetniix's individual record for the Steel Judoka that he just barely set earlier this week, he pretty much swapped out one of the weapons for something completely different and made it so much faster because of it.
Yeah, I mean the primary weapon for the judo mech, this is judo mech, or I don't know.
Yeah.
Is a vice throw, like throwing the Vec to the opposite direction of him. And the animation of this attack is very slow compared to the laser mech, for example.
Yeah, where the squad does excel a lot, though, is with being able to push Vec into other Vec as well, relying on some bump damage, which can help a lot. And since the Judo mech has so much movement, he's able to get right into position to be able to just basically be a battering ram, in a sense, by taking your siege mech, the ranged mech that he's got there, firing it over the Vec and pushing the Vec into the Judo mech.
Now I'm risking a bit because I just went with the mission with the Alpha Vec on the start with the very low attack. Like
one of the big details with Into the Breach is that each mission has certain objectives to it. You can have either 1, 2, or 3 or more objectives. If it's a 1 objective mission, most of the buildings in that mission will have some shields protecting them from a hit. 2 objective missions are normal, whereas 3 objective missions like this one, where we have to defend the train as well as protect emergency batteries, it will start with an extra Alpha Vec, which is a slightly more powerful Vec.
Yep, I managed to do it good, I think.
Yeah, that was I think that went really well.
For this squad, very well. This squad is very hard to get used to because of the Vec placing. I can't talk.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite casualty, personally, because of how challenge that they can provide.
My favorite squad is very deep in the run because I'm so much used to it. It's the Zenith Guard, which has the laser mech. Okay, I don't know what happened here, but I'm gonna just roll with it.
I think he ended up hitting the escape button a little bit too early. I think that's what that was. One of the things you'll notice with the escape, the menu trick, is that as soon as the UI starts to fade out at the end of the mission, that's when you hit the escape button and then press continue again so that you skip the fade out animation
Exactly.
at the end of the mission.
Why? Why, Gooey? Why are you doing this? Gooey isn't nice today. Don't touch the... Oh, I'm gonna lose to grid. This is bad. Very bad. Normally I would just reset it, but it's a longer run. I'm gonna just buy the pink.
We'll roll with the punches there.
Yeah. Oh no. Not the mine mission. I don't like mine missions. This squad is gonna be very, very slow. I feel it in my bones.
So part of the reason that Zetniix didn't want to go for the other mission that was on offer here on Archive was mainly because the mines that start off with that mission, on that mission, are... It means that there's an extra Vec that spawns on each of the... I believe it's either on each of the turns or on the first few turns.
On each turn.
Which means slower animation times, just overall slower, sadly. But in a pinch, if a Vec kills itself by walking on top of a fancy blinking light, yeah, you take that.
Yeah. I might gonna go for this mission because it's pretty nice with the squads that don't have much damage. Like what? Like Steel Judoka. Mainly the Kazakh is doing the damage, and the rest is kinda trying to do something. Okay, yeah.
Playing volleyball with the Vec.
Yeah, I just throw one into the water. Ah, I forgot to repair. I lost the pilot. Oh no!
Oh, how many pilots have died in the interest of going fast?
Many.
It's for a good cause.
Probably. I mean, I'm sorry for the timelines where I just restarted the first mission because because you know what.
Yeah, that's a good point. Oh, I didn't do this mission fast enough. All right, bye guys. Best of luck.
And the timeline is doomed. I forgot about the fire. It's losing time too. I mean, wasting time.
With how quick these runs can go, a lot of optimization goes into just avoiding animation times, which, whether it be fire damage to mechs or Vec, the escape to menu trick, so on.
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna damage the train, but it's not that bad.
It's just a train, they grow back.
Yeah. This. Okay, I killed everyone. Now, sorry, there are maybe there were. I can talk. Ah.
No worries, you focus on the run.
So maybe you can read the chat, or I don't know.
Indeed, indeed.
Maybe there are some donations.
I can take a peek here and see if there has been any donations in the last chunk of time. like there has been any yet.
I'm sorry, I just...
Scorpion Leader!
Scorpion Leader. I mean, it's not that bad when you know how to deal with him. So... I'm just gonna kill him now. I'm losing too much greed. By the way, I don't know if you noticed, but I upgraded my damage on the judo mech. Because I had 3 cores.
Which, that's another big thing. So, at the end of each island, you have the opportunity, as well as you can pick it up on certain missions if you're able to find it. You'll be able to spend 3 of these this reputation towards reactor cores. The reactor cores are what you can then put into the mechs to upgrade their damage, upgrade based off of what weapons they have, give them a little bit of extra boost to health or to speed. It's one of the big things, especially on harder difficulties, that you want to almost focus exclusively on getting those so that you're able to keep up with the mech as they become more difficult island after island.
Yep. I mean, upgrading is good with most of the squads. I don't know which squad isn't getting any profits from upgrading. I mean, maybe Zetniix.
Yeah, it'll be towards the end of the run, but I think the custom squad that we'll end up using towards the end of the run here probably won't even bother with
anything at all.
With anything. We'll basically just rush through and with not a care in the world. But for squads like Steel Jaduka, putting a little bit of extra time to purchasing some of that extra power can save the run in some cases, or counteract the time loss pretty easily, I would say.
Yeah, I was shocked when I got the VR for the Steel Judoka. Like, I didn't know that I cut 50 seconds of my PB with this run.
Just by getting a different weapon than the one that the Steel Jaduka starts with.
Yeah, Rocket Fist is a very good weapon. It's
a shame that no mechs start with
yeah.
that.
I got it from a pod, from the first pod, I think. And so it was lucky. Wow, the Vex are generous. Another leader is gonna die because of the...
It's always fun when they do that, though. Those magic yellow squares.
They like magic yellow squares. Okay, I need to do this, kill this, and kill him. Okay. By the way, by standing on the Vec spawn on the first turn, you can just kill the spawn by environment.
There, especially with the final mission here, there are certain patterns that you'll notice rather quickly with each turn as you go through the 2 phases of this final mission. Here in the second phase, always on the second turn, your mechs will all get targeted by tentacles coming up from underneath the lava.
Okay.
And if you are able to block a spawn on the first turn, then the tile that would have been on, well then, the Alpha Hornet there will... It kind of demonstrates what happens, both to that as well as the spawn that was being blocked.
Now we did the second squad. Now we're gonna go to Flame Behemoths, which is a very fiery squad, if I say so.
Indeed.
Like, they have a passive that won't let them burn, and they are immune to fire, just. So that's great. No, that's not great.
Flame Behemoths is one of the squad, sadly, because you have to sit through the fire damage animation. This squad is built around damage over time. You set the Vec ablaze, and next thing you know, they burn to a crisp and they're gone. But waiting for them to burn to a crisp can take a bit of time. Oh, but fire is so good, though.
Yeah,
It's slow, but it's so good.
it's good. Like when you lower the HP of the Vec to 1, the fire will just kill them. So that's a great thing. Okay. I did the train mission. Oh, and the tidal waves. Just another one.
Oh, fast.
I know Skip,
So that's actually a
fire
good
is
thing.
bad,
Oh, go ahead, sorry.
but I need to do this.
So to touch on one thing about the speed of certain missions. There are 4 islands in the game. The ones that we've been going to have been Archive and RST. Archive being this island here, the nice green hill zone of the islands. RST being the desert. The two that we most likely won't see unless we decide to go to it anyways is going to be Pinnacle, which is a slippy slidey ice world, and then Detritus, which is sort of a industrial acid island. The main reason that we go for Archive and RST is because they have the most fast missions, making them the most consistent as far as speedrun strats. Pinnacle is awful
Yeah,
in speedruns and casual play. And Detritus, although it does have some relatively quick missions, it's not as consistent as Archive or RST.
I mean, the Pinnacle missions can have some fast missions, but it's very not likely.
And it has a bunch of slow missions too, which doesn't help.
At all. I'm gonna... why did I took the mines mission? I'm bad. I mean, I got...
Have to show off some of the slower missions,
yeah,
right?
and I got the pod, so... additional core is always a good thing. I mean, for this squad, I just need to boost Meteor Max damage. It will do 2 damage, and I don't have to use my Flame Mag to just finish this wreck, because I lost my... I'll just stop talking and focus on the run.
Good idea. So, one of the reasons that Zetniix took a little bit of damage there was, you'll notice at the bottom of the screen there was a sort of floating squid-like Vec. That is a Scion. There are 4 different types of... Actually, no, there's 5 different types of Scion. I forgot the one that you see in the final mission. Those give a passive effect to the enemy Vec that you're fighting. The one on Archive that we're stuck with today causes the Vec to explode if they die. So in those cases, you kind of want to focus the Scion down first before the Vec decide to start exploding.
Which isn't that easy. Another spider. Why?
So, to answer your question, Razorflame, the current world record for the all squads percent, which is currently held by Skip, he Alt F4s the game after the end of each run to go a little bit faster. Zetniix hasn't been doing that. I assume part of that is because he has a really good Kazakh and he doesn't want to lose him. A Kazakh that starts with extra movement and extra health is actually pretty good for safety.
Yeah, this is probably the best Kazakh for the speedruns. Maybe additional core would be nice, but
yeah, and that's the exact thing that Skip is mentioning there, is that if you Alt F4 and leave, you don't keep your pilots. One of the nice things with Into the Breach, which makes it differ a little bit from other traditional roguelikes and roguelites, is that you can bring a pilot along from a previous timeline with you to the next. If you Alt F4 at any time, it saves. There is actually a pretty aggressive autosave. But if you Alt F4 right after the end of the final mission on a run, the pilot that you had that you might have thought was nice won't be able to come with you because he's stuck in a timeline that you quote-unquote didn't finish, even though you did. The Redfield bomb went off. It totally successfully won the timeline. Didn't abandon it at all. No, of course not.
I hope I can show you the Hornet Spawn mission, because it's probably the fastest mission in the game.
Yeah.
There's a strategy with blocking Vex spawning. It's like it's blocking on the third and the second last mission to have the maximized block, and no Vex on the final turn to just end it, the mission, and continue with the speedrun.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I think I understand what you're talking about there, Razor Flame, is that in a sense the all squads percent is being run by oh, we did get a
Hornet spawn mission.
Hornet spawn mission. You'll notice that the Vec are going to be coming up from the holes in the middle of the screen there, which, if you can kill them before they do anything, makes this mission actually go by really darn quick. But one of the things with the all squads percent is that this is being played on a completed save file, meaning that all of the squads are unlocked, all of the pilots are unlocked, meaning that it's kind of a new game plus in that sense, but you just have to get a victory with all of the squads in order to get a successful run with all squads. There is the 100% category does have you do start from a fresh file when you're doing 100%, but that's because you're trying to get all of the achievements and all the pilots unlocked, which you unlock those slowly over the course of getting all of the achievements and playing through the game. Now that I think about it, though, doing a new game plus of all squads minus Secret Squad, but that's because Secret Squad is a pain to unlock. A fresh file all squads percent minus Secret Squad, that would be an interesting category. I might try that at some point. Sort of like a all achievements. It's sort of a lighter version of the all achievements run.
Yeah, that would be the ultimate percent. All squads and 100% in one round.
Well, I mean, like, instead of what we're doing here with the all squads, where we're starting from a completed save file, we would instead start from a fresh file and beat all of the squads except for Secret Squad. I don't know, maybe that's just me being weird. Skip more categories. Sorry, I come up with weird ideas for categories sometimes. I give Skip a slight headache over those sometimes.
Don't worry, everyone can be weird.
This would be considered New Game Plus in a sense, though even the any percent category is also would be from a 100% completed save file. I guess the closest that we've got to a so the any percent category, or more specifically the any percent two island percent, is just doing a single one of these runs that we're doing here. With all squads, we're stringing together 11 of these any percent runs together, whereas with each any percent run being a single 2-island run with a specific squad. I don't think there's like it's kind of similar to Dead Cells' yeah, exactly, and that's the nice thing is that assuming that you've got a tilde key, you can open up the console and get a save file set up for you to speedrun the game from the outset if you really want to. Or there's a save file you can grab from speedrun.com as well that we've been able to set up for people that don't have a tilde key, because apparently it's just the United States that has those.
I have the tilde, so I don't know. Maybe I have the USA keyboard or so.
Perhaps. We've had some interesting problems with that in the past with someone that's had a non-US keyboard trying to open up the console.
I messed up with the kill. I just moved the VEC.
Hey, moving is effective. But yeah, this squad, the whole gimmick for the Flame Behemoths is that the Flame Mech, the Prime Mech at the top of the mech list on the left there, makes you immune to fire, which is really nice because in casual play, when you don't have a anthropomorphic mantis in the flying swap mech, you can put that in fire, swap with another mech Vec, and put that Vec into the fire that on the tile that you were just on. It's very nice being able to just move the Vec around and sending them on fire and watching as they burn to death.
Pyromaniacs likes this.
Indeed.
That's a shame. The Vex don't want to die in this setup.
Well, the poor magical yellow square is all the way at the top of the screen. Kind of hard for them to get there with the low movement they've got. Though I might be a little bit more delayed from that, so there might be more magical yellow squares popping up here.
I'm gonna take damage, but it's only 2 damage. And Kazaki is taking care of the leader.
Yeah, the lemon skips that Zetniix is doing, where he's pausing right as the environmental effects appear. Excuse me, 1 second.
I sometimes use the lemon skips on phase 2 when I'm sure that they will be at least. No! Oh my gosh! Ah.
So the bomb is not massive. It will die if it goes into lava. But that's fair. We just move. We've got tons of the things.
Oh no! Oh no! I don't wanna lose. I don't wanna lose second bump. I'm gonna lose Kazakh.
We'll lose Kazakh. We'll lose Kazakh instead. That's fine.
I'm gonna have a second Kazakh.
Kazakh. We don't. the bomb takes higher priority than Kazakh.
For me, at least. Oh my god, this is so bad. I hate it.
We just have to survive one more turn.
This is a huge time loss. Okay. I hate this squad. I hate it so much. This is my least favorite squad in the entire game.
I think it's one of the slower ones for the different 80% categories as well. It's not a speedy squad, sadly.
Yeah. And now we're gonna go to my second hated squad, which is Blitzkrieg. I don't like this squad.
That's a good point. You could hit Alt F4 and probably get a new Kazakh and save some animation time.
Yeah, but this is a marathon. I don't wanna quit the game on the marathon.
That's true. I guess we can roll with that. I know that OBS sometimes has issues with picking up the game again immediately after the Alt F4 trick. At least that's what I've had problems with in the past.
I nearly started a new round with the Flame Behemoth. No, go away.
Yeah, we don't need to go through that horror a second time.
What's up?
We're gonna move on to Blitzkrieg next.
What's up with the spiders? I have third spider. Like
More spiders. So Blitzkrieg's squad is based around chaining damage between different mech. So the lightning mech here, the Prime, it can, if it damages a Vec, and there's another Vec immediately next to it, it'll chain that damage through it. It will also chain damage through your mechs, and through buildings if you get the upgrade for it. Which can be a double-edged sword.
this is a very double-edged sword. Like it can kill your mechs in an instant.
But this is the squad, because one of the achievements for the squad, if you're playing the game casually, is Lightning War, beating 2 islands in under half an hour. So if you get that achievement, you're a speedrunner.
This is one of the things that brought me to speedrunning, probably. Like, this is a fun thing to do. I mean, the 30 minutes run.
Meanwhile, we're going to end up playing through the entire squad in probably under 20.
Yeah. I did the wrong thing. I'm gonna...
Yeah, and that's the thing. For the achievement, you just have to get through 2 islands. You can keep going to a 3 or 4 island run after that and still get the achievement. You don't have to get a 2 island run. Just 2 islands. That's all you have to do. You don't even have to win.
Yeah.
I mean, we're going to win because we're speedrunning. We want to win.
I'm gonna lose one grade, but it's not that bad. I need probably a train mission. No, I need tidal waves for sure. I didn't have any train or tidal waves mission. My memory is so bad. Everything is so bad.
You got this.
I'm complaining a lot. A fun fact: when you repair on the spot that it's on fire, it will be extinguished.
Yep, that's one of the nice things about both of the games that Subset games have made, both FTL and Into the Breach, which we'll be seeing FTL tomorrow. But both games rely a lot on different systems working together, such as the fact that if you repair on a tile that's on fire, the fire will go away. If you use acid, if you fire an acid projectile at an enemy, that enemy will take extra damage. And those all interact in a really nice and clean way.
I agree.
So this is a satellite mission. This is the first time I think we've seen it in the run so
Yeah,
far.
this is one of the slower missions. Like, it isn't. It isn't. It's kind of good, but it's bad too. Like, now I have this setup. This is horrible.
You'll note that the rocket on the left there is about to take off, and it will kill anything in blast radius. Some people, if they get stuck with this mission, they'll just outright destroy the satellite to prevent the animation from going off. But sometimes those satellites come in handy.
Yeah, and I'm not good at this game, so so I won't be gonna killing some satellites.
I'm trying to remember how many records you've got in this game, though. That's the thing. You're selling yourself short.
Okay, now we're gonna go to the spider. Once again. I hate you. I just got a nice thing, which is a lightning chain through the grid.
This means that you'll be able to chain the damage not only through mechs and vex, but also buildings as well. Though thankfully it won't actually damage the buildings.
I'm just gonna do this.
And considering that we've got spiders, that lightning chain will actually come in quite
And I
a bit
killed
handy.
my mech. It was
Yeah,
yeah.
that's normal.
we're talking about we are talking about this so lightly, but it's horrible. You killed a person. Yeah, but it's just a game. He's
I've lost track of how many pilots I've killed with the squad.
me too. Oh, another spider. Normal spiders are worse than a spider leader. This marathon isn't going so hot. Like at all. I lose grit, I lose mechs, I lose pilots, I lose everything.
But the nice thing is with a game that's a roguelike like this is that each new timeline is a whole new opportunity to... I was about to say screw up, but no, we need to be positive. It's a new opportunity not to successfully improve. And yes, Razorflame, this is going to include the secret squad at the end. So I guess spoiler warning, but it's a speedrun marathon, so I guess that's implied. To answer what the secret squad is, if you're able to get all 55 of the achievements on a save game on a profile, you will have the opportunity to unlock the secret squad, which is more of a challenge squad than a reward, in all honesty. But it's a fun challenge.
Fun challenge indeed. This is one of my favorite squads. Which is telling something. Like, I like challenge. I like 100%ing the games.
That was a good resist.
That was a nice chain to kill my mech once again.
At least Kazak isn't an armored thing, so means that he's not going to die immediately to a laser blast.
Yup.
One of the nice things about the hook mech, the hook mech's not a great mech. Its main attack is only a grappling hook, which all it does is pull an enemy towards the mech. But it does also come with innate armor built in, meaning that it can tank some shots from the lightning whip, which is actually really handy at setting up some chains, depending on what difficulty you're playing on.
I don't like normal spiders. I said that already.
Yeah, I can already tell. I'm a little bit delayed. I could already tell. Oh no, he didn't send its little spider egg where I thought it would. Hmm.
No blocks. It's fine. I need to boost my damage on the electric mech. I forgot the name again. I don't.
Lightning, the lightning
lightning.
mech.
Okay. I have a poor. Yeah, spoilers. Spoilers in a speedrun isn't new.
Indeed, and for me at least, it's rare that I'll go into a roguelike blind. I tend to do a little bit of research, one, to know if it's a roguelike that I would enjoy, and two, so that I don't completely make a fool of myself, because that happens a lot, and trying to minimize that's helpful.
I heard about Into the Breach from my friend. He was watching a YouTuber who's playing only indie games, and he played through the Into the Breach. I got interested in, and I started playing this too, and it really hooked me up. I'm happy that that this game exists.
Which, yeah, like this is by far, compared with this and Dead Cells, my two favorite games from last year. So, which squad is the hardest to finish is a question that Razorflame has in the
It
chat here.
depends.
And that's actually, yeah, it does depend.
It depends on which difficulty.
I am of the opinion that any squad, even some of the more bizarre custom squads, can win. They might not be fast, but even something like this hook mech here, where all it starts with is just a grappling hook to be able to pull enemies towards it. I've been able to beat a 4-island run with 3 on hard with 3 hook mechs. It was a fun challenge. It's not something I would do again, but it was fun. That said, I would say out of the basic squads, the one that most people have the most trouble with, I believe, is going to end up being Steel Judoka. Simply because it's a slightly different way of playing compared to the other base squads. Stuff like, I mean, the fact that you have slightly less damage than everything else, all the other basic squads, and as well as kind of an awkward attack on the Prime mech, the Judo mech, it can be a pretty tough squad to wrap your mind around.
I looked at the chat and saw the random squad. I had an idea with Skip that we can do streaks with the on hard mode for island with random squad, which is something very interesting, I would say.
And can be tough to do.
Kazakh. I'm so bad.
Oh no!
This is the worst scenario.
On the bright side, we'll get a new one. Not now, but on the next timeline.
Yeah, the highest streak was 2. Which isn't something very big, but it's nice.
So, without Kazakh in the hook mech, this is going to be a little bit more challenging for Zetniix here.
Yeah.
But the grapple is going to be handy. The grapple is still going to be... The grapple is underrated, really. It's it's a good piece of equipment. As an example, yep, that's exactly what I would have went with. Being able to pull the enemy onto that magical yellow square where a rock will cave in on top of it, that's a huge boost.
Okay, I'm gonna kill him, block 2 spots and kill another mech. With this squad, you can block up to 4 different spots.
And that's actually an achievement, being able to block 4 tiles on a single turn, thanks to the use of the boulder
mech.
as on that boulder mech. Speaking of boulder mech,
He's dead again. You are
it's just an
dead.
ally.
Not a big surprise.
We have loads of them. But it's the final turn. We could let the we'll just let the mech do what it does, and we will be at the end of another run. We're gonna move on to the next timeline.
I'm gonna say this run is very bad. Like,
I think we're still
in my
doing good,
mind,
though.
I'm just see reset all over my mind wall. We are at the half point or after Rift Walkers?
We have done 4 of the 11 squads, so Riftwalkers is going to be the 5 out of
Okay.
11.
So this squad and the Rusting Hulks are gonna be the midway point. Is gonna be the midway point.
Let's see. You believe that I was right about what, Razorflame? That you'll enjoy? But yeah, this is a really fun game. I think you'll enjoy it, and I would 100% recommend anybody to play through the game and give it a try. The nice thing here, this squad, Riftwalkers, is the first squad that you will play in a casual playthrough. When you buy the game, first time you boot it up, this will be the squad that you play as. It is probably the most beginner-friendly squad. Because it gives you... All 3 mechs do a little bit of damage. All 3 mechs do some displacement, which lets you move the Vec around. And it's probably... It's actually one of the stronger squads, too.
Yeah. The Prime Mech has the punch, which can deal up to 4 damage, which can kill some alphas in one shot. And that's something.
You have to get some upgrades into it before it'll do that much damage, but exactly.
This category needs so much improvement. I mean, it isn't a very crowded category because it's long. I don't like long categories, but I made an exception for the marathon.
This is a category that I am still yet to run. I tried giving it a try a while back, but because of it being an almost 3-hour-long run, it's a little bit tough to bite into. That said, I still need to give the 100% category a try as well, but that's because apparently I'm a masochist and want to give it a try. But the nice thing is that any individual squad, or their any percent runs, once you get the different speed tech down with the escape to men menu after each mission, as well as the lemon skips in the final mission, you can get your times down pretty quickly. It's actually a pretty nice game to get into because of how easily you can learn some of the tricks. And to cover one of those tricks, actually, while we're on this mission, you'll notice that Zetniix has been blocking a lot of Vex spawns over the course of the run. But there is actually a pattern that he tries to follow with blocking the spawns. You'll notice that he's not going to block any spawns in this first turn. But on his second turn here, he's going to start blocking one spawn. And then on this final turn, if he's able to pull it off, he's going to block two.
But
He'll block all. Sadly, it wasn't able to work out, but you have to work with what you've got.
having a Kazakh in 2 HP mech is eh.
It makes it tough to be able to pull that off
Oh, my
consistently.
favorite leader, the Psion Abomination. Blech.
I'm assuming that is slight sarcasm because I hate this.
I
hate this boss.
I don't hate it. It's really unironically my favorite boss
That's fair.
because
So the way that it works,
because he's easy to
sorry.
kill.
Fair. I struggle because all the mech that come up with him are tough to kill while he's still around, because it causes all of the mechs to have more health, to explode when they die, and to regen health every turn. So, you know. So to answer your answer, Razorflame, every single island will have 5 missions. 4 basic missions, and then the HQ mission. That's the case for each island. So on a 2-island run, you'll do 10 missions, and then the final mission, which has 2 phases as part of it.
I upgraded my damage on the Prime mech, so he's gonna kill the beetle in one shot.
Which is pretty handy, because otherwise you have to chase the map as it dashes away.
And taking raid. It's silly with the beetles because you can point them towards the water and they gonna dash into the water and die.
They don't have brakes.
That's right. No breaks, no fun. This is the easy difficulty because it's the fastest.
You'll find that a lot with different speedruns, is regardless of what game you're playing, is that you'll have easy being the fastest category. One of the nice things, though, is that there is a hard difficulty category for speedrunning as well, which isn't run nearly as frequently because, well, hard on going fast is tough. Doable,
Yeah,
but tough.
very tough. I was doing it for quite a while, but I never managed to frequently finish runs with this. I mean, I don't frequently finish runs with any squad at all lately, but
You've also been doing your best to try to beat some of the times on the leaderboard lately, which means
grind, a lot of grind.
yeah. Once you get to the point where Zetniix is at with having either the record or the second place on most of the 2-island categories, it's hard to find some of that time save, especially with a game that's pretty RNG heavy like this. It's lighter than some other roguelikes, but when RNG is what's going to keep you away from getting a new personal best, it can get frustrating at times.
I almost lost to grid because this layout is pretty trash for me.
This is a bit of a rougher layout. That's something I could touch on quickly here. So with the randomness involved, you will not only have a little bit of randomness as to which Vec will appear on each island, as well as where they'll spawn and where they'll attack on each turn. One of the big things to keep the game more fair, because obviously getting overwhelmed by Vec can lead to an end of the end of your run if you're not careful. There are preset maps that the developers created for each mission type. So as you play enough runs, you will start to notice that some of the maps are going to look very similar to each other, where they'll have the mountains in the same locations, the buildings will be in the same locations, even if the number of buildings on a tile might be slightly different. The reason that they were pre-made rather than just being randomly generated for each run individually is to try to avoid situations where there's not really anything you can do with your mechs, or depending on what the Vec it's hacking. Like L shapes of buildings. Imagine if there's a Vec hiding in the corner. It can be a little bit tougher to get that Vec out and not do a lot of damage.
I went with only 4 grid. This is gonna be my doom. I am the clutch master.
It's 3 more grid than you need, right?
Yeah, I am the clutch master of this game. Like, I always just barely win the game with 1 grid left.
Grid is a resource. You use it. And this is a squad that you can handle having a low amount of grid with. You've got some extra damage on not only the Prime mech, the combat mech there, but also on the Cannon mech, which is your brute class. That extra damage helps a lot with trying to keep the Vec in check, really.
I agree.
And with Kazak and your artillery, you should be fine.
You said it and I lost a grid because of my stupidity. You jinxed it.
On the bright side, there's no civilians in these power pylons, so we should be fine.
Yeah. But exactly, skip. This is my strat. But it's a risky strat to do.
Oh, you lose the... Nice. So, you might have noticed that occasionally the bomb decides to squish a Vec as part of this first phase here, and it helps a ton, especially if the Vec that gets squished is
And it's
blobber.
Alpha Blobber.
There is a cap. Yeah. There is a cap for each mission as to how many of certain types of Vec will spawn. There will only ever be a single blobber that spawns over the course of an entire mission if blobbers are on that island. Meaning, we don't have to see another blobber for the rest of this phase. That is a huge boost to the game. That's a huge boost to the run at this point, because... Gosh, alpha blobbers can be annoying on this final mission. Especially if you're low on grid.
Ay. I'm gonna have 1 grid. This is great. Or not. Now I need to be extra careful. Clutch master here. Everything is gonna be bad.
3 mechs versus 2 Vec, I think you should be fine. Yeah, you only really have 1 threat to the grid. You're good.
That's great.
Sure, a pilot got tentacled to death, but
Oh, that's some hentai right there.
we'll be fine. Oh dear.
I'm Clutch master. I did it with 1 grid.
And with that, we are halfway through the base squads in the game with the main squads of the game. That's 5
We
out
are
of 11.
going to push ourselves to the faster squads now. Like, Rusting Hulks is the midway point for me between fast and slow squads. It's a mix.
The way that, because any of the all squads %, there's not a designated with how many, which mechs you have to, or which squads you do in which order. Everyone will do it in a slightly different order. Skip. Slow down.
I don't.
So the way that Zetniix has ordered it for him is he did his slowest squads first, and we'll start as we get further on until we get to the last squad. The squads will get slightly faster with each run.
This squad is pretty good, damage-wise. I mean, because the artillery mech deal 2 damage, which is a rarity with this type of mechs.
The Rusting Hulks, from what I understand, the consensus between what's the strongest squad is it's kind of a mix between either Riftwalkers or Rusting Hulks. And Rusting Hulks is probably one of the most beginner-friendly squads. Not only does it allow you to cancel enemy attacks using the jet mech's smoke attack, but any Vec that are left in smoke at the end of the turn will also take an extra bit of damage. It's still a little bit slow because you have to wait for the animation the same way that you would with fire, but it can help a ton, especially on some of the harder difficulties.
And you can, and this is one of the passives, you can boost the power of it.
Yeah, I mean, if you can imagine the passive that allows the smoke to do damage to anything that's in it, you'll get extra, you can put more power cores into that passive, and next thing you know, even your jet mech ended up getting a boost in power because of the extra damage to the smoke.
Giving the extra damage to jet mech itself, it's nice. It's nice. So, and you can give the jet mech a bit of range because when it jumps one tile, like it flies over one tile and barrages it with the missiles, but you can upgrade it to do it with 2 tiles at once.
Yeah, this is already looking to be a really quick archive for Rusting Hulks here.
Unless I get a mines mission. Ooh, that was close.
Even then, the mines aren't too bad. It's not the slowest it could be.
I almost clicked on the tidal waves mines mission. That's karma right there.
So this is probably a good mission to indicate sort of how many spawns should you block with your mechs over the course of a mission. The first turn, you don't need to block anything, but the second turn, if you can, try to block the one that spawns. And then on the last turn, you try to block all of the spawns that are left. If you're able to pull it off, which sadly we weren't able to here, but that's fine. But if you are able to pull that off, that helps you give a nice free turn like this towards the at the final turn of a mission, which can help a ton with keeping things quick. I think that's really where the optimization comes from, with some of the individual records for the squads.
I think that Skip had VR for the squad, if I'm not mistaken.
If I take a look, he had it at one point. Skip has both you and Amaranth ended up taking away Skip's world record for the squad.
I'm
Saturday.
sorry, but that's how the speedrun works.
Gotta go. He gotta go fast.
Wow, through the previous run, which was a mafia run, I didn't meme with this is how mafia works.
Skip says that he had the record for the squad for 4 hours before.
That's, oh, ouch.
It makes you feel better. I haven't had any rest yet, so.
You'll get it with time. which is the main thing of speedrun.
I'll get it in. I'll get it in the 100% category. Be one of the 2 people that have run that category.
Okay. Probably I'm gonna block every spot now. I need to do this. Kazak is gonna get a level up soon.
But yeah, now you can see here we've got basically a free final turn, which that's absolutely huge for getting a good time for an individual record for speedrunning this game. We can actually have a lot of thanks for Amaranth for coming up with a good strategy on how to get that consistently, or for consistently blocking how many spawns we should block.
I mean, I was doing this way earlier, but I forgot to share the news about it.
That's even better. It means that if 2 people came up with the strategy independently, that's even better because that means that the strategy is good.
Game Jam was doing this too. I remember. Oh, finally the Cataclysm. We had all of the quick mission on RST.
Nice, 3 speedy missions. That's actually
not on
really
this
good.
run.
Oh. Over the course of the entire
Yep.
all squads run, I guess. I misunderstood. My apologies.
By the way, some of the flying mechs, there are very few flying mechs in the entire game.
There are 6 in the game. Out of the mechs that have innate flying, we have the jet mech, we have the defense mech, which we will see that later on with Zenith Guard. There's the swap mech, which we saw.
I'm gonna do the meme thing and do lemon skip on seismic activity mission.
Hey, nice. I still struggle with the timing on this skip. So seismic activity is not a fast mission, sadly.
Because of the seismic.
You'll notice this chasm is supposed to go across the entire map, connected to each other. But if you can do the lemon skip, you'll notice instead of a chasm that forms, instead we're going to turn the land into Swiss cheese.
I messed up the timings. And that's nothing to worry about.
Hey, this is still better than I can usually pull off. The timing for getting the lemon skip is actually kind of tight. The way that you need to get it is based off of the moment that the Vec finish coming up out of their holes. That's the moment that you need to hit escape to be able to go to the menu and continue to minimize the amount of animations from the lemon skip.
The Psion mech. Psion mech. Wow.
There needs to be one, but yeah, the Scion Abomination.
Psion mech. That's a nice mod mech, I suppose.
I'm surprised that hasn't been created yet. I'm gonna have to look. But yeah, one thing you can do with the lemon skips is that you can, in a sense, pause buffer, where you can repeatedly hit escape right before the environmental effects start showing up, and you might be able, and that can help a little bit with getting the timing down as you're starting to learn the skip.
I'm gonna boost.
It's still tough to pull off, though.
Okay. Another final stand mission.
Like, to put into perspective with how strong this squad can be in a speedrun situation is that we've got 24% grid defense and a full power grid going into the final mission here. right? Which I think is the most that we've gotten out of any of the squads up to this point.
Oh, this isn't me. Someone took my place and had the maxed out grid. Who I am? I messed up the timing. But it's better than nothing.
Getting 2 instead of 4 is still that still cuts the amount of animation time in half. That's still a big time save.
I mean, I know the timing for this. It's when the last vec emerges, the environment starts to do its work. Like the last spawn, and now this is working pretty good. Now we have the second phase. This is quick, very quick.
Yeah, get 11 minutes in-game time. That's pretty quick for. It's a bit of a shame that the in-game timer is not 100% accurate to the RTA timing. The RTA timing, the in-game timer doesn't stop at the same point that we stop the time for RTA. It stops a little bit after that. And it also doesn't take into account any reset turns, which we haven't seen any yet in this run.
I hope there.
I guess we.
Yeah, I hope too. Now we're gonna lose the Zetniix. That's a shame.
Oh, poor Zetniix.
He was a good boy.
One of the nice things when you're playing the game casually is that if you make a mistake, on each mission you have one free reset, which will take you to the start, which will reset back to the start of the turn that you're on. It's not perfect. You only get one per mission. And it does take extra time if you're trying to speedrun. But if you make a drastically fatal mistake, it can mean the difference between winning or losing a run.
But I don't use it very often.
It's faster to just reset the run rather than reset the turn.
Okay. Another squad done. Now we're gonna go to the hazardous mechs.
Hazardous Mix is one of my favorites casually. The way that this squad works is that is trying to mitigate self-damage. The nanomech has, which is the flying mech in this squad, has a passive which allows your mechs to heal HP if they get a killing blow against a Vec. Which is good because both the Prime and the Brute mech, the Leap mech and the Unstable mech, both have self-damage as part of their attacks, meaning that you can hit really hard, but it's also the most risky squad if you're playing casually, because the chances of killing your own pilot's pretty high.
Yeah, getting the mech killed is very easy. Okay, I'm gonna kill this. I'm glad that I'm doing this run on the marathon, which is Rogue-a-rama. Rogue-a-rama is a great marathon for someone like me, because I love roguelikes. I have I wanted to say that I have my Rogue-a-rama t-shirt I bought on the previous 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 edition of the marathon, and this is my lucky charm for for this marathon. I hope this will come in handy.
Indeed.
For now, the squad isn't doing so hot, as you can see.
Yeah, satellite launch mission's a little slow, sadly.
But I have
But
the good
hey,
Kazakh, like the probably the best. What? I'm gonna kill this. Yep.
Plus health and
Uh,
plus move, is it? Wow, it's a repeat of the last one that we had that was good. That's actually pretty nice. Hey! Always nice to destroy the satellite and not have to sit through the animation.
I'm not
So cathartic.
I'm not gonna have any
So cathartic
fast
to
mission on
kill
the
objectives.
on this island.
Yeah, it's a shame.
Unfortunately.
At least on the bright side, this is actually, if you take into consideration just sheer speed without any restrictions, Hazardous Mechs is probably the fastest squad. Now, the reason it's the fastest is because of an interesting mechanic that we won't be showcasing here because it would not be valid under the rule set for the speedrun. But if all three of your mechs are disabled at the end of a mission, you don't lose. You only lose if you lose all your grid. If you lose all your pilots and all of your mechs in a single mission,
You just get thrown out of the mission
who cares?
and don't get any bonuses like reputation.
yeah, you just get kicked out of the mission. You move on. So if you do that 10 times in a row, and then go off to the final mission, you can beat the game, and I think the current
Yep.
record's under
And
10 minutes.
I have the world record for this.
Yes. You have the record for the glitched percent category, where you just kill every single pilot and every single mech in 10 different missions in a row, and just head straight to the final mission.
I remember that was a very close run too, because I had one grid, wow, on the last mission, and I had to do some shenanigans to kill to kill the Vex, or more likely protect the grid.
Yeah, it's actually a tough category too. I mean, getting through the 10 missions by killing every single pilot at the same time, that's not too difficult, but it can be a kind of a challenging final mission to successfully pull off with not a lot of grid and not a lot of bonuses. But yeah, because it's not a very satisfying way to play the game, as Skip's mentioning here, it is the fastest. But because it can be, because of the reason that it's exploiting a mechanic in the game, it is a separate category for glitched percent.
I always want for the squad to boost HP and the one core.
And health in can actually help
Disconnected.
quite a lot for both safety and for making sure that stuff dies quickly enough. Base Force speedrun. lose all the players as quickly as possible. Yeah, so apparently Into the Breach is not the only game where the fastest way to play
my
is
fault.
to
Don't
not
ask
play
questions, please.
perfectly.
That was so stupid. I'm sorry.
Did something happen on stream that I'm not aware of?
I
Oh.
forgot to leave the TeamSpeak. My brother was in, and one of his friends sent audio something that was stupid. I'm very sorry, you all. I'm very
Oh,
sorry.
no. It's fine. Put it behind you. George is on the ball as always. He was able to make sure that the issue was kept to a minimum. So good on you. We appreciate that.
Now I'm gonna be quiet for a moment.
Indeed. If you type in exclamation mark merch, which I'm sure somebody will get to before I'm able to type it in, there is I think it's Spreadshirt is where we've got some shirts for that. Which the funds from that will also go towards Able Gamers as well, which is pretty darn neat.
Oh my gosh, I have every fast mission. This is...
Nice. You know, I probably would have been a bit of a dunce and accidentally sent the lead mech into the hole to try to kill both of those hornets instead. Not gonna lie.
I'm aware of the holes. I'm gonna leave it. What can we say about this?
Let's see. Here's another. I guess another thing, because I did notice that you just barely used it. One of the advantages squad, at least casually, is that the nanomech has some extra an attack which applies acid. That's an acronym, by the way, ACID. Doesn't actually stand for anything, but that ends up doubling the amount of damage dealt to whatever is infected with this acid. I think the devs once joked that it stood for acronym created by indifferent developers.
Ouch.
Nice water in the lower left. Don't think I quite caught what you were pointing at with that, Razor. But, oh, no, I see. Maybe I don't. Maybe I don't
He
see.
means the water, I think.
I'm going to just assume that you were able to get a really cool test, so...
Oh, I get the HP boost for the leap mech. That's nice.
Oh, yeah, that's really cool. Okay, here's a fun story. Because this squad has the ability to heal and it's able to get a kill shot against a Vec, there is a weapon that you can find in the game, either at a store or out of a time pod, which is self-destruct, which kills not only the mech that it's on, but also the 4 tiles immediately adjacent to it. Now, in any other squad, that's crap. It's not a good thing to go for unless it's just like, I need this thing dead now, and I want it to be dead regardless of what happens to it. But in this squad, if you're able to kill something with it, mech comes back anyways. It's a really, really nice synergy.
Well, you can get nanobots and the self-destruct. So this can work too. Because this mech has a passive that lets you heal. That's Vitera nanobots, if I'm not mistaken.
Exactly. Viscera nanobots, which that passive will let you heal up if you kill something, which includes if you kill yourself in the process, which is how the squad's built around, and it's a lot of fun to basically have a lot of damage and not care about how much damage you've got. Because most everything will die in a single hit.
Exactly. I need to kill both of them. Alpha Vec, I don't like you. But he's gonna die. The lead mech is gonna die anyway, so.
Yeah, and I mean, you don't like the Alpha Vec. The Alpha Vec doesn't like you, so the feeling's
Hate
mutual.
relationship.
Indeed. We're going to be moving on now to another fast squad. A squad that I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think it's the fastest of the 8 base squads.
It is. I think it's or the Frozen Titans are faster. I think.
Let me double check that.
No, we are gonna go with the Zetniix card, which is my favorite squad.
Yep. Laser beams.
Let's go. This is my favorite squad because of the laser mech and fast kills and stuff. So the laser is a pretty fun weapon because Skip is saying that the Zetniix card is faster.
Yeah, but only by 10 seconds. Both between this and Frozen Titans.
Yup.
Both of them are pretty darn quick. But this one's fast
Laser
mainly
mech.
because laser beams. Like,
I mean, we're gonna.
you can't go wrong with lasers.
I will not be so sure about that.
Okay, you do have a point. The laser beam will just go across the map, dealing damage to everything in its path, and that includes not only your own mechs, but also buildings.
Unfortunately.
So, you know, you can't just go firing it willy-nilly and the best. You have to be careful with how you place it.
And the damage on the laser it's a nice mechanic, kinda, because it hits for free on the closest tile, and it goes down with every tile that it's going further.
Goes 3, then 2, then 1, 1, 1, 1 until the edge of the if it hits building or mountain. It kind of steals the show for the squad. Like,
Because it's MVP for the squad. I mostly don't upgrade any of the things in this squad because it's already perfect for me.
you already have 3 damage, 2 damage, and with Kazak and this defense mech, 2 more damage. Which, that's a pretty strong boost for for any squad, really. That's the highest base damage, I think, out of any other mech in the game. Also, that's the dead pilot, but it's in the charge mech.
the self damage thing too.
Yeah, the charge mech is the third mech that also has self damage as part of it, meaning that it's going to have a pretty good job of, well, dying
I
relatively frequently,
don't
sadly.
know why this is a thing for this mech.
I think the main reason for it is that with Zenith Guard, the idea is to mitigate damage both to your own mechs as well as to the buildings. It's kind of an interesting dynamic where you have to either play very carefully, or if you're going to be playing aggressively, you need to use the shield generator that's found on the defense mech, which can shield either the charge mech to block a hit from its self-damage, or to block a laser shot that's about to hit a building. It's actually an interesting squad for that reason, where you've got 2 high damage and 1 defensive mech.
Yeah, and now Gui is again not listening to me. He's going places.
Yeah, the Goo boss is gonna go off on an adventure. Have to babysit it a little bit, I'm afraid.
And now, boom. He split it in two Guis.
The way that this boss fight usually works is that you take the one big goo, split it into 2 smaller goos, and then take those 2 smaller goos and split them into 4 even smaller goos. Kind of like the slime boss in Slay the Spire. And with about as much suffering and pain and annoyance as that boss is in Slay the Spire, actually.
I mean the HP of this leader is also splitting into, like, he has 3 damage on his biggest form, then he has two HPs, and then the 1 HP.
4 by 11 or 4 by 1, yeah.
He's dead.
Spider. Yeah. Yeah, so is the charge mech, but
It's in the contract.
that artificial intelligence knows what it signed up for.
Another spider. I don't like you too. But I have great news. No burrowers.
That's a good point. I hope we didn't just jinx it with that, but that is a very good point. We have not seen a single burrower yet. Burrower is a type of mech that has a really, really slow attack animation because it burrows down underground, then moves, and then burrows back up.
It's tedious.
It's for any percent, it's basically a run killer. But yeah, Skip has a good point there. So for any mission that only has 4 turns from the start, which is Cataclysm or train missions on RST, or tidal waves and train missions on Archive, you want to try to block as many spawns as you can on those missions because there's only going to be two turns where spawns are going to be appearing. So it's not going to be under the same restriction as you would for a normal 5-turn mission where don't block anything on the first turn, block 1 on the second turn, block 3 on the last turn. You actually want to be really aggressive with spawn blocking if you're able to on 4-turn missions like trains or missions where the map gets slightly smaller for each turn.
Unfortunately.
On the bright side, Terraformer is the nicest of those options, since you get the extra unit.
Oh yeah, 30% grid. That's a thing.
I approve. I approve.
I didn't notice.
Yeah, that's a lot of grid, actually. You don't usually get that much grid unless you're actively purchasing grid defense at the end of each mission, end of each island.
Yeah, they got one hit with the solar panels mission.
Yeah, the solar panels will help with that. Getting 2 points of grid from those missions. If you have a full power grid and then you get additional grid power, that grid power gets converted into grid defense. It starts out at +2, and then as you get closer and closer to the cap, it drops down to 1 per lightning bolt symbol you get in the mission.
I'm gonna take this the grid percent higher. To the max. I
don't think I've ever gotten maximum grid power in a casual run yet. I need to see if I can pull that off. The cap is 40%, and then each pilot can get different skills as they level. First at getting 25 experience points, and then 50 experience points past that, you can get a little bit of extra
easy
skills. Those skills can either be +2 health,
sorry,
+1 move.
Interrupt you. Oh, I forgot to do the lemon skip.
Yep. Hey, no worries. But yeah, to answer your question there, Ramsey's easy mode, because easy is faster. There is a hard difficulty speedrun as well, but that's not run nearly as frequently, sadly. Partially because it's harder. it's hard to win a run on hard, even casually sometimes.
Yeah, this is not a fun thing.
Yeah. But to answer the question with the different pilot skills, as the pilots get skill by getting some experience points, first at 25% or 25 experience and 50 for the second level, they can get 2 of 4 skills. Either +2 health, +1 move, +1 core, which is the best, and then +3 grid defense, which is the one that nearly everybody hates, because grid defense is not something to rely on, because it's still just a random chance.
No one stops you, Razor, from doing the hard run.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing, is that what I love about Into the Breach, and this is the first game that I ever started speedrunning, is that as you improve playing the game casually, that skill level goes straight into can you play well in a speedrun. Being able to read the board quickly, being able to pinpoint, okay, I can do this and minimize the risk really quickly. It actually can be a really... It's like playing speed chess. Even though I'm crap at chess, but it's like speed chess. It's a similar sort of thought process in a way. And almost all of the tricks that you would use to be able to survive a run on hard will help with an easy speedrun as well.
Maybe not every one, because they are some only hard things.
True, but being relatively aggressive with blocking spawns, being able to read the board quickly and get the most out of your turn, that helps a lot as well. And yeah, sadly, the hard mode speedrun, those are in the miscellaneous categories for the Into the Breach speedrun.com page. It just isn't a category that is run very frequently.
We are now with the only 3 squad left.
Yeah, we have
Oh,
to say goodbye to Kazak, sadly.
because we now gonna switch to Mafan, which is a Zoltan.
Yep. Yep, Mafan is a Zoltan, which is the second cameo appearance from the game FTL. His special ability is that he has a shield that regenerates after the end of each turn. He also gives the mech an extra power bar, but to counteract that, he only has a single hit point. So if he dies, that's it. He's gone. Goodbye. He explodes into a
Follows the
lovely green
Titans
paste.
to the ice mech, and we are going. We are starting.
Indeed. So the main reason that we go with Mafan, the Frozen Titans, and for the custom squad that we'll be doing immediately afterwards, is because Mafan, his shield has a very strong synergy with the cryo launcher on the ice mech. The cryo launcher, yeah. So normally the cryo launcher freezes not only its target, but also the mech that fired it. But with the shield, the mech stays unfrozen. Which is an extremely overpowered synergy. Like, this alone makes this squad, in a sense, almost trivial to play. It's a really, really, really strong ability. To the point that many people who play casually kind of avoid this synergy. They won't use Mafan or Bethany Jones, who is the other pilot that starts with a shield, with this squad because of how it is an extremely powerful synergy. So, Mafan, unlocking. I have become a bit of an expert on how do you unlock these secret pilots. There are 3 secret pilots in the game, all 3 of which are immigrants from the game FTL Faster Than Light, which was the previous game that Subset released. If you are on a run and you pay attention on the second island, keep an eye out for either a cracked mountain tile or a cracked ice tile on one of the missions. You'll also see a nice little yellow circle in kind of like a little yellow dot on that tile. If you break that tile and move one of your mechs onto the tile with the yellow dot, that will trigger that secret pilot's thing. It will end up replacing one of your time pods on that island, so an easy way to tell is, oh, it's Island 3 and I only received 1 time pod. I must have missed a secret pilot. That is not a good feeling. It's something that you kind of just have to keep a close eye for it. The tile has to be cracked from the start of the run. It won't be cracked when you look at it in the select screen, but as soon as you select the mission and you're in the mech deployment phase, just take a quick glance at all the mountains and see if there's any cracked. Anyways, this is part of the reason why this squad is so powerful at the shield, because everything's just on ice. Mech popsicles. Which is like it's fun.
It's more fun.
But it's powerful. Ba-dum-bum. Now, to counteract some of this, the other 2 mechs are a little bit trickier. If you're playing the squad casually without a shielded pilot in the ice mech, it's actually one of the tougher squads to play as, because the Aegis mech, which is our prime here with the big shield, it doesn't have any displacement. He has a lot of movement and can rotate attacks around, but it's a bit of a tougher one to work around if you're not familiar with it. And then the mirror mech is not a fan favorite at all. Because it attacks in both directions, you have to be really careful with where your positioning is with that mech, because you might accidentally shoot down a building while you're also trying to push a mech, a Vec away with its attack. It is a really cheap damage upgrade though with +1 core, which does help a lot. But and considering that the ice mech casually freezes itself, it's a tough squad. It's a tough squad if you're not using the freeze cheese.
Cheese from the fridge.
I don't actually like cheese.
I am 50-50 with this. Like it isn't great, but it's tasty sometimes.
Now, if you had done that in a different, if you had bashed the Alpha Leaper first before you did the mirror attack, that would have been one of the few cases that I've seen that you can actually get the trick shot achievement without using a weird trick where you shoot down the dam on Archive instead. That mission, that achievement's so difficult to get.
I did the trick shot achievement normally without the dam.
Yeah, it's a tough one to look for because the chances of the Vec just lining up perfectly on a squad that doesn't have a lot of displacement built in, it's a tough achievement to be able to pull off consistently.
Yeah, this isn't easy achievement at all. I don't know how you're gonna get this on your 100% run.
By cheesing it using the dam. But yeah, there are some tricks that you can use where either you go for the spider leader final mission, the spider leader on an island, which the extra Vec spider things all scattered about, it's a little bit easier to get the bump damage off. Or you can go with the cheese by shooting down the dam when there's a bunch of Vec in front of it, so that they all drown at the same time. Doesn't work though if you end up destroying a I think it's a health soldier scion, which is the green one that gives extra health to different Vec. Doesn't count if you kill that with the Janus cannon, sadly. I learned that the hard way.
Now I'm gonna do the prototype bombs. We haven't done this yet on this marathon. The bombs.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen this mission quite yet. So at the end of each timeline, we end up using one of these Renfield bombs to do something to the Vec Hive. I don't know what that something is, but it's a
big bang.
Here we have some prototypes. Some prototypes that go kaboom, apparently.
These prototypes are very fragile.
Instead of the 4 health, it's only a single health.
Okay, this is done. I wanna upgrade the Mirror Max cannon to its best. This is gonna be quick because of the Scion abomination.
Indeed, and with all of this, and also getting aggressive with the spawn blocks immediately after. On easy, when you're doing one of these fights against the Vec Hive leaders, each turn you'll get only a single additional spawn. So if you're able to get rid of the boss quickly, it's actually pretty simple to just block as many spawns as you can. Hardest squad to speedrun with. I think that's probably a safe assumption. Flame Behemoths, because of how much you have to wait on the flame animations, that can slow down the run quite a bit. I think Skip does have a good point, though, that Secret Squad is a tougher one. Could be tougher. That one's not an easy one either. Secret Squad, because it's so low damage at the outset, and you'll get to see it at the end here if you're willing to watch the spoilers. Secret Squad's not an easy squad to be able to pull off to speedrun easily. It's doable. It's a fun squad to play as a challenge. I think you got almost every single lemon skip here.
Yeah, I've got them all.
Well done.
So I'm happy with it. With this. Now the second phase.
For those that might have joined in a little bit later, what the lemon skip itself is was found by one of the folks in the modding community for Into the Breach, where if you hit escape immediately when the environmental effects appear, you can cancel that out by going to the main menu and returning, meaning that you only get one of those environmental effects instead of the 4 you would normally. Secret Squad, the way to unlock it is by getting all 55 achievements on a single profile. You can then unlock them as the sort of the reward for effectively 100% of the game. It's not an easy achievement. It's fun. But getting all 55 achievements, it's a commitment. It's
I did
tough.
it. I'm gonna show you this.
I mean, the fact that you have the Secret Squad is unlocked is proof enough in that. Make it so. Indeed. That said, that's probably, for people that have been playing the game for a while, the game came out early last year. I think a lot of the people that have really dug their teeth into playing this game, including I think most of the people who speedrun the game too, have been able to get all of the achievements not only on their first playthrough of the game, getting playing through all the squads for the first time, and then eventually getting all of the achievements. I think almost everybody that speedruns the game actively has gotten almost all of the achievements off in hard too as well. Which that's also a really fun challenge to go for if you're looking to extend the life of this game.
Okay, we are done with the Frozen Titans. We're going to the Custom Squad.
This is fun. Okay, this is a fun squad because the Custom Squad lets you basically pick whichever mechs you want out of the ones that you have unlocked to play. What we can do here is pick the mechs that are the fastest, which sort of the meta. I don't know who was the first to come up with this squad composition. I believe... Oh, what would have been the oldest run with this makeup? Skip might have to do some research for us here. But 2 lasers and an ice mech.
Yeah.
The
I
reason
like
that
to
this is the fastest.
colorize them to have a better view, because I can mess up.
Yeah, that's probably one of the best strategies, is recoloring the mechs so that you know which one has what. So the reason that this squad is so fast is because the lasers are so high damage, and having Mafan in the ice mech lets you more or less nullify the final bosses on the hive leaders on each mission. This is by far it's the fastest non-glitched speedrun for the game. With what's your current?
Oh my
what
gosh,
is the current
it's,
record for Custom
I think
Squad
it's
right now?
10:34.
Yeah, the current record for this squad particularly, which is held by Amaranth, is a 10-minute 35, and Zetniix is not too far behind with a 10-minute 52. So really, really, being able to just zap everything to death. So, by non-glitch, the best way to explain the non-glitch is that the only way you lose a game of Into the Breach is if you lose all of your power grid. If you lose all 3 of your mechs, you keep going. So, with the hazardous mechs, there is a category called glitched percent, where you kill off all 3 of your mechs with hazardous mechs on the first turn of every single mission until you get to the final mission and beat that in a normal sense, but with slightly weaker mechs. That's the fastest way to play the game, but it's not a very fun way to play the game. So that particular skip or particular exploit to be able to skip missions like that isn't allowed in the normal categories with any percent 2 islands or the all squads runs.
I killed the pod, as you could see, because it's...
Which is, yeah, that's a strat. That's the strat here. As strange as
For
it
the squad,
sounds.
it's a strat. It's the strat.
The reason that you want to actually destroy the time pods with this squad in particular is primarily because opening up the time pod's slow. And with how optimized that this squad has become, I think how many different runs have people done with the squad? Like 2, 3. Like 21 different runs between the people that run this category with this particular squad. It's gotten pretty darn optimized at this point, where you kind of have to go for any time saves that you can, including killing off the time pods that appear.
And killing the train.
And yeah, you kill the train anyways, whether it's this squad or any other squad. I like using the train to kill the Vec for me. Oh, if you haven't looked, take a look at what the attack name is for the train. It is literally choo-choo.
Seriously?
It is. Yes, if you look at the train and its attack, which its movement is its attack,
Wow.
it's called choo-choo, which is like the best Easter egg ever, in my opinion, in this game.
That's so funny. We are in the end game now.
Indeed, we are getting towards the end here. So, one of the reasons, so if you do get cores for this squad, they usually, if you do end up purchasing any from the stores at the end of each island, they usually are going to go towards movement rather than straight damage, especially on this difficulty. The main reason for that is because getting that extra movement allows you to get your mechs in good positions that don't end up leading to damage to buildings. I think this is also the fastest squad for 4 island percent as well, where instead of doing what we've been doing here for the all squads percent, just playing Archive and RST over and over again, you more or less you go through all 4 islands, showcasing the entire game in that sense. I think this is the fastest squad for that category as well, I believe. That's another category that's not run very frequently, and in fact, if you want a category that's really not run very frequently, it's Hard 4 Island.
Fun.
There is only 3 people that have ever run a Hard 4 Island category, one of whom ended up running a couple of different squads as well. He's not an active runner anymore, sadly, though. He's moved on to a couple of other games now.
island, then the secret squad, and it's gonna be it. But for now we need to finish this squad first. As you could see, I lost my shield on the map, so I stepped on the back spawn. I used the ice pack to freeze myself, and I got the damage boost.
And that's, if you're playing Frozen Titans, that's actually the way they do it, that squad, without a shielded pilot, is that you use the freezing. You freeze your mech on top of a spawn or in the line of fire of a ranged attack, which helps a ton with that sort of stuff. As one side note, since I just noticed, the PB that's listed on stream is slightly incorrect. So Zetniix's PB is 2 hours 48 minutes, not 2 hours 38 minutes. So we are actually pretty close to maybe beating his personal best, which would be absolutely fantastic to see.
But the first 3 squads were awful.
Hey, that's how it goes.
What else can we say? I can encourage you to give money for a little stream, for a marathon, for able gamers, because it's a charity stream, so every money counts. About the donations. There were any donations throughout this run?
Let me take a quick look. I don't know if... Got distracted by one thing or so. No new donations just yet. But if there ever is, we will definitely announce that.
Second phase now. Give me a moment.
Alrighty. So, second to last final mission that we'll be seeing here. You blink and you miss it.
I'm back. I want to be a bit quiet now.
Hey, don't worry, I will take commentary from here if needed. Ooh, nice resist there, which is actually really handy. Although I do regret to say that Mafron is dead. Oh well, we don't need him anymore. It is the second to last turn, so we should be fine.
No. Oh no.
That is... Okay, that's not good. I don't know if there's really anything that can be done. There is. Okay.
Oh my god.
Oh, dear. Don't scare me like that. Well, almost all the mechs died, but we still successfully made it. Oh, blah, blah, blah. Well done with catching that. And with that, we are going to move on to the final squad of the run.
Yup.
Secret Squad. This is by far probably the hardest one to speed run. Partially because it's not a lot of damage from the outset. Each of these Techno-Vec only have a single damage between them, making it potentially difficult to get a good run in, even playing casually. So for this squad, the goal, it's the challenge squad to unlock after getting all 55 achievements. So it's not meant to be easy. It's meant to be more in a sense of a fun exam for people that are playing the game. It's the last squad you unlock. There's no achievements given for it. It's just, how well do you know the mechanics of the game? So you have to rely very heavily on bump damage, displacing Vex so that they don't damage buildings, tossing them into lava, water, lava, or pits, using your own mechs as walls to bash against. Am I breaking up? I am sorry if I'm breaking up. There is not a whole lot that I can do about that. They do not have human pilots, no. Their pilots are... they are quote-unquote cyborg. Meaning that if they die, and part of their ability, each pilot has a skill for it. Like Mafon with his shield and Kazak with his repair attack. The Techno-Vec pilots, the pilots that are in these Techno-Vec are cyborg, meaning that they cannot die. If they lose all of their health, they spend 25 experience to quote-unquote come back. So they just lose 25 experience rather than just having a pilot. But in return, you cannot remove them. These quote-unquote pilots are locked in to the mechs themselves. There goes the dam. It is gone. Which is actually really helpful for a squad like this, because extra water means more places for you to toss back into. It's also a fun squad thematically because, you know, you can't beat the Vec. Beat the Vec with more Vec. Let me know if I am still breaking up or not. I hope I'm not. But if I do, let me know. Oh, that was a good turn there. He did take the pod, and the pod is fine. You want to take the pods in this one, because this squad does not start with a lot of damage. Vec only has 1 damage for their attacks. It's kind of like a slightly weaker excuse me, a bit of a weaker version of Riftwalkers in a sense. You kind of want to get the time pods since they give you an extra core. But the core allows you to get a little bit of extra damage into some of these attacks, which for this squad, when it starts with the damage it has, it can be a huge advantage to the squad. That was a good, solid first turn, I would say. So well done there. I think the spiders are going to stay mostly on this. I never remember. They're going to be staying mostly to the bottom right of the screen there, which is pretty good. And honestly, this is a really good spider fight for the squad. Like that was clean. Well done. Was that a perfect island too?
No.
That might have been. I don't remember. I'm still a little bit delayed. No, it wasn't a perfect island. That's fair. Alrighty, we're moving on to the second and final island. Then just the final mission left after that. And as crazy as it sounds, bless RNG, we did not see a single burrower in this entire run. I am baffled at how that happened. No burrowers over the course of 11 runs. I am... Wow. That is really, really, really good RNG. Like, absurdly good. The way that the Vec are populated per island is that there's 3 standard Vec, which there's a pool that can be pulled from that, and then each successive island that you play gains an extra not secondary Vec, I don't know what the exact term is, a second advanced style of Vec, such as the Blobber, Beetle, and so on. Burrower is one of those. I don't remember what the exact odds are for each one, but the fact that we didn't see a single Burrower this entire time, just like, that is really, really, that's awesome. So this will showcase what happens when one of these Vec die. It's just severely injured. They come back. It's not dead forever. Which is actually pretty handy, considering that there's no... you can't just swap out pilots like you can other squads. So it's not nearly as dangerous. This is also an example of where we can use the train to our advantage. Since we don't really care about the objectives too much, we can use the train to, in this case, kill a very annoying mech. Vec. Why is mech and Vec rhyme? I'm surprised that I've kept that straight this frequently. Or this well. Are going to take a little bit more grid, but I think it'll still be fine. Final turn for this mission. This is going to be a bit of a tough Scion to face as well with this squad because of the low damage. Having Vec that have more health. Not exactly what the squad wants to see. Oh, you even get to block all 3 on this turn and get a free turn at the end. That was a good mission. Well done. You even get the Destroy 2 Mountains reputation, too. That's a tough mission, casually. That poor Techno Scarab is basically being made into a something that just gets bumped into in order to deal extra damage. Gets to return the favor though, and bumping it against that Techno Beetle there. And with that, got one more mission. What missions do we have left on this island? I'm trying to see. Yeah, we're going to move on to second to last mission. We are getting close to time, though we've still got probably about 5 minutes of time here. This is a squad that can scale up in damage by the time you get to the 3rd or 4th island, so although it's a really weak start, you can tell how much faster the 2nd island has gone compared to after he got a little bit of extra damage into these mechs and weapons. And here we go, final mission. Did miss a bit of the lemon skip there, but that is fine. Getting... he might be able to get the... He's probably going to do extremely well here. This is exceptionally... So very well done so far, Zetniix. Oh, the Techno Scarab saved his buddy.
Okay, last phase.
Alright, so as a note for time, time is when the UI will fade out the moment that the Renfield bomb animation starts. I will try to give you a good sound cue as to when that happened, but we're looking at only a few turns left for the run. You have a little bit of self-damage to the grid there to make sure that the Hive leader there dies on turn 1, which is a huge deal for this early this early on. Two turns to go. This is exciting.
Okay, I'm on the last turn. I just finished it. 3, 2, 1, time.
Very, very, very well done here. We are probably going to have to retime that, but that was by and far a world record. Sadly, George, I think you accidentally hit the reset instead of the. But that was I think that was a 2:33. That is absolutely spectacular. Very, very well done. Indeed. Very well done.
And that was Oscar's percent easy mode of the Into the Breach. I hope you are satisfied. Oh, you were satisfied with this run. Next up, we're gonna have a NES Zapper race, freeway.
Mm-hmm. As a note, if any of you want to get into the Breach speedrunning yourself, feel free to well, first of all, do so. This is a fantastic game and very much worth your time learning how to speedrun it if you're interested. And you're always welcome to ping either myself, Zetniix, Skip, or Amaranth on Discord, and we are more than welcome and willing to help you step through some of the speedrun tech. And with that, unless there's anything else,
doing hard only runs on the other file.
Yeah,
you can see.
And this is fun too. Is that Zetniix has been there's so much you can do with the game, playing on hard and getting challenge runs that way, speedrunning the game. But I think with that,
goodbye everybody.
Indeed, if that is that, I believe we're going to go ahead and turn time back over to the stream hosts themselves. Very, very well done with that, Zetniix. That was a very well-deserved world record. Well done.